Uncle Gus was a hero to me, a kind of larger-than-life figure. He was a great father to Gustav and Aunt Renee, and a wonderful uncle and grandfather. Uncle Gus was also a great brother to my dad, and he was my dad's best man when he was married in 1964. And he watched over our family when my dad went to Vietnam in 1968. And he stood by both of us when we buried my mom in 1973. I'm sorry. I know my dad misses his brother a great deal. Uncle Gus was a business consultant, an advisor to politicians, a sports authority commissioner. I thought that one was really cool. I went to a couple things at the Meadowlands with him. A lot of fringe benefits. He was a settler of riots and a TV host, and a great storyteller. He created a framework to integrate the Essex County building trades that became a model for the entire country. The building trades program enabled many Essex County folks of color to enter the middle class by the ability to get great paying construction jobs. He also worked with a number of African American entrepreneurs and helped them to become very, very successful, as a number of folks have talked about today. And he really was a Renaissance man. I just thought he just did stuff that other guys, other people his age weren't doing, that I just thought were so great. He played tennis, he sailed, he rode horses, and he rode motorcycles. He and I both graduated from Hampton University, and I thought one of the coolest things about him was that he had his own parking space at Terminal C at the Newark Airport. Which was very unusual because years prior to that, he had actually gotten construction stopped at the airport because they weren't meeting their minority set-aside and minority hiring goals. So I just thought that was really neat. He taught me about supporting and giving back to your community, which for me primarily means helping black folks, but also helping anyone you can within your power. I was really honored to have him at an event that took place at the Newark Club that was held by the New Jersey All-Stars, where I'm on the board. And my wife and I were being honored for the work that we had done for that organization. And the purpose of that organization is to develop young people in Newark and throughout Essex County. I felt very proud to have him there because in my mind, it felt like the next generation is stepping up to carry on his work to make Newark and the world a better place. He also helped me with my career as a lawyer by making introductions to all kinds of people, and just the mere fact of being Uncle Gus's nephew opened a lot of doors. You see, he was someone that everyone whom he encountered always had the most respect for. He did not drink alcohol or smoke. I hadn't heard about that story. In my experience with him, I had never seen those things happen. Although he did cuss on occasion, as I'm sure all of you have experienced. And like most Heningburgs, he loved a good meal. Or like all Heningburgs, he loved a good meal. He talked to me about and gave me examples of how to use the law for justice and equity through those stories that he would tell me when I was in his office. Uncle Gus also helped my wife, Janine, to get on TV for the first time, and that is something she really enjoys and will always be grateful for. And Carol Jenkins was also very instrumental in that first opportunity as well. Uncle Gus was also very special to our daughter, Jade. She was at school one day and seemed to be sad, but I was not quite sure what was wrong with her. I just assumed it was something that, was bothering her as a 9-year-old. But what I found out was that she was upset about the loss of her Uncle Gus. You never know what's going to move children. I also really admired how Uncle Gus took his grandchildren with him when he traveled around New Jersey and beyond, because he knew those experiences would help them to develop. And as a result, my wife and I take our daughter with us whenever we can, and often when we get there, she's the only kid, which she's not always happy about. Finally, Uncle Gus will continue to be an inspiration and role model to the next generation of Heningburgs, and his influence has ensured that their great-grandfather, Alphonse Heningburg, would fondly refer to them as fine young Americans. Thanks.